Yowza guys, how's it going?
It's your boys.
Stubborn Weeb, joined with...
Camel X.
And
This
today...
is the Mr. Outdoors podcast.
Yep, episode 11.
It is? Wow. 11 times?
11 whole times, man.
We only skipped, like, a bunch?
We did skip a bunch. We've been more consistent, though, and guys, we're trying to bring back the Saturday thing. It hasn't worked out for a while, but it's going to get there. At least until we have to go to college, and we'll figure things out then.
One of your cup things were on the floor.
Oh, that's bad.
A coaster. I thought it was... I was like, there was another one here on the table.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't find it. But it was on the floor.
This week we really wanted to just go over our favorite games of all time. We're
all time.
And then we wanted to talk about we still want to
Incorporate some news.
Yeah, we still want to incorporate some news into our podcast, but we don't want it to be fully focused around that. So from here on out, what we'll do is we'll bring up a topic we want to talk about, and then after that, we'll go ahead and just bring up a news topic this week that interested us.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be the format of our future episodes.
Yeah, and if there's more than one news thing that interests us, we might bring that up. But,
we're not... It's mainly going to be focused on a topic that we bring up.
Yeah, it's not going to be, purely focused on news like it was before. Like how we would say, this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. It's going to be more like, hey, did you hear about that thing?
Yeah, we'll try to save the news stuff for the end of the podcast. That sound good?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, so now that we have that out of the way, let's start with what we've been playing, or I guess watching recently, or reading, whatever we really want to talk about.
Yeah. You want to go first? Or me?
I'll go first. So, lately I've been playing, I think I brought it up last week, I've been playing A Link to the Past.
Oh my god.
And then, I started Fallout New Vegas. That's something that's new.
Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, the best game.
It is really good. I just got to Prim,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not too far in.
You told me, you're like, yeah, I'm about 5 hours in. I'm like, where you at? And you're like, Prim. And I was like, whoa. Like, you're really getting the content out of that game.
Yeah, I wasn't used to keyboard controls, and they were really confusing, so I had to go through and just kind of format everything, and I didn't feel like messing with a controller, which I'd be more comfortable with.
I was just imagining you like pressing every button on the keyboard and just looking at the screen to see what it did, and you're like, okay, that doesn't do anything. You press the next button, you're like, alright, that doesn't do anything. Press the next button, you're like, okay.
I moved a little there.
Yeah. Okay, that's moving forward.
Sometimes I still get the idea that I can hold the shift key to sprint, but that's a shoot button.
Oh.
So I forget that you can't sprint in the game, and that really throws me off. That's the only thing I don't like about it so far.
Yeah, if you want to start moving fast, though, I forget which stat you have to level up, but it's one of those stats.
Well, I think
it's agility.
In games, it's not the fact that I can go fast. It's the fact that I can't sprint. That bothers me. I need to have the feedback of knowing clicking this makes me go fast.
Oh, I remember me and you, at one point we had an argument about whether you could sprint or not in Oblivion and the older Fallout games. And you were all like, no, I remember, Austin, I used to sprint all the time in Oblivion. That was like, you could go way faster. I'm like, no.
You're thinking of Skyrim, dude.
Yeah, and you're like, no, it was in Oblivion. Yeah, so is that what you've been doing, or is there anything you want to add?
Well, games aside, I do want to bring up, I've been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I'm about on episode 4 now, and it's just some good stuff. JoJo.
Yeah. For me, I've been basically playing Fallout New Vegas. It's pretty much it. I've jumped into fighters occasionally, to fight with my little brother. I did start playing Sniper Elite 4, 2 days ago.
Yeah, didn't you try it before, too, and you stopped then?
Yeah, and the game's fun, but it's just kind of I'm definitely probably not going to stick with it. It's one of those games where I think I got it free.
With Plus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, and I started playing it, and I was just like, this really isn't my thing. But other than video games, I've been watching Naruto Shippuden. Been reading a lot, just a lot of like historical stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm a freaking nerd.
Yeah. Historical stuff like the Knights of the Old Republic books, right?
Yeah. Some Skyrim lore. That's still nerdy, but
Yeah. Just a side note, I actually heard the Knights of the Old Republic books are actually like top tier.
Yeah, I've heard they're really good.
Especially the ones on Revan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's canon now. Yeah. We should talk about that.
But I hope Disney doesn't.
Yeah.
Do something with him. They need to. If they make Revan canon, they don't need to make him gay or like. Yeah, he didn't marry Bastila or anything. It didn't happen.
Yeah, that would be dumb.
Or just completely retcon the games. If they make Revan canon, they need to like reestablish everything.
I think that's one of the things that makes Revan so appealing to so many people is because you make Revan who he is. Like canonically, it is a guy, but like.
And he does end up with Bastila. You can't.
Yeah. Like, that's, like, the two big canon things.
Yeah.
But, like, him, like, how he acts as a person, that really, like, that's what people find so appealing about Revan, in my opinion.
That is appealing. But then even after the books, after the games, it seems like he has a pretty kickin' personality with...
Yeah.
With what he does. I think he could stand alone as a character, even if we don't decide what he does, but I think it adds to it, knowing who's under the mask.
Yeah. That's one thing that I was kind of worried about The Witcher is like, because I think like one of the reasons that video game movies and stuff don't do very well is because that they kind of take away that choice element, especially like video games that are like based on choice. But there hasn't really been too many movies about like RPGs and stuff.
Yeah.
But or like there has been like Dragon Age animated movies and stuff, but I think
there have been?
Yeah, there has. There's like anime Dragon Age movies.
Are they bad?
I haven't heard anything about them really.
I know Dead Space has some.
Yeah, Dead Space has some. But what I was saying is like I think that might be kind of why a lot of video game movies don't do very well, because either like they'll have characters act in a way that us as a player don't see them acting. Like I heard the Tomb Raider movie was pretty okay, the newest one, but some people were still like, there's some parts where she just doesn't really seem like a Tomb Raider. But then like, someone else might be like, oh yeah, that's exactly how she'd act. But even though that's a linear experience, everyone plays differently.
Yeah.
Like, me and you playing Tomb Raider, I might go a way more stealthy approach and take guys out.
Would.
Yeah, like take guys out. I would take guys out quietly and stuff. I'm like, all right, yeah, Lara Croft is the type of person, like, she isn't too great up front in a fight, but she can, she's like a Rambo style character,
Yeah.
Like, hits like guerrilla warfare. But then you're all like, but Lara Croft wouldn't be hiding. She'd just be going around killing these dudes.
She'd pick up a machine gun and...
Yeah. And it's that, like, there's this choice that I think every game has, and once it's taken away, I think a lot of people might, like, have problems with that. Even if it's a subconscious thing.
I could see that. And that's why a lot of the video game movies I enjoy are either not direct... They take the concept of video games and apply that to a movie. Like, I did like the new Jumanji movie. Not the newest one, I haven't seen that yet, but the...
That's pretty good.
Oh, okay, but I like the first one that I have seen, the first part. I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed Ready Player One. It wasn't like a perfect spectacle or anything, but I think it was an enjoyable movie to watch. But I think those have worked well, and I also really think it works a lot better for a video game movie. And they don't do this, and I don't know why, but if they take a really popular game with good lore and a good story, and they make a side story to it that doesn't involve the main characters, so you're not mad with how they're handled. But if they can keep the story true to what it's like in the game, but not having to cram the entire game story into like an hour and a half, I think that works so much better. And then it also expands the lore, and you don't even have to be familiar with the game.
Yeah. I think that's why The Witcher Netflix series has been so successful. I know it's not based solely off of the video game.
And it's not a side story.
Yeah. But like it is like different versions of the characters than you would see in the video games because it's based off the novels, you know, and I think that's why people are so okay with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, like, I know people like to deny it, especially the author, but they say, like, the video games played a very, very large part in The Witcher's popularity.
A lot of people wouldn't know what The Witcher was if The Witcher 3 didn't come out.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
Witcher 1 and 2, I don't think it hurt the popularity of his books, but I don't really think it gave much else.
Yeah, but The Witcher 3, like, it put The Witcher into the public consciousness.
Yeah.
But even beforehand, though, it was a popular series, and that's why there was video games being made of it.
Oh, yeah, maybe not too popular. It was more popular in Sweden or something, right, than what it was here?
Yeah, Sweden or Poland, I forget.
Yeah.
That's where the author's from. But, but then you can't tell me that if The Witcher 3 didn't exist, then they would be making a Netflix series about it.
Yeah, okay, can I tell you something really quick?
Yeah.
This is just a really weird thing, but you know that book series Del Toro Quest?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've already told you this before, but it's an Australian book series, and then they decided to make a Japanese anime on it.
Yeah, I used to watch it.
Yeah, I know, and I just find it weird. I don't remember that series being particularly big.
No. I remember watching the series, though, and then, like, I'd go and read one of the books, because the books were really small.
Yeah,
like,
they were.
Every episode of the show was an entire book.
But there were, like, 12 of them, right? But they were, like, they were almost like serious
Goosebumps.
books.
They were, like,
yeah.
Goosebumps books. Like, you know, you can sit down and read one within, like, probably under an hour.
They were very different, though.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed the anime more when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was just more my thing.
I
think I was mad because I saw the anime first, and I was saying, "This isn't that character.
Yeah.
They're using the belts all wrong."
Yeah, but what I was saying about The Witcher, I recently saw that The Witcher, the series, like, there's been a correlation. There hasn't been a direct, like, people haven't came out and said it, but, like, since the Netflix Witcher series has came out,
yeah,
The Witcher has been, like, number 6 on Steam sales.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Like, you know, that's really impressive for a game that came out 2015.
Yeah.
Right? And then also, like, just data and stuff that's been released. Like, people have just been playing The Witcher 3 a lot. And I think it's just kind of cool that there's this possibility that this Netflix Witcher series, like, people that have video games and stuff, that have consoles and stuff, they're all like, what? Like, people will be like, oh yeah, I've been watching The Witcher, and then, like, someone will be like, oh, did you ever play The Witcher 3? And they're like, what do you mean play The Witcher 3? And then it's all like, oh, it's this video game, and then people just discovering, like, a really, really good RPG,
yeah,
you know, that they just didn't know existed.
But okay, to be fair though, I have to imagine if someone has a very powerful gaming PC that can run The Witcher 3 and buy it on Steam, I'd have to assume
they've probably got The Witcher 3 and played it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like,
or at least heard of it.
Yeah, or at least people that have, like, an Xbox or, like, a PlayStation.
But you said because of Steam sales, right?
Well, yeah, no, but that's one of the... That's what I was saying. Like, it's number 6 on Steam sales, and then on other platforms, it's also been being purchased and played a lot.
Okay, I could see that statement being more true on other platforms, but if someone can run The Witcher 3 on their PC...
They're gonna be running it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it'd be really... I kind of miss that feeling, you know? Of, like, just picking up a random game and being like, oh, no, I'll try it. And then it just being a really good game.
Yeah, I remember begging my mom to go into GameStop, because when she'd take me in there, she'd at least buy me one game. That's why she didn't take me in very often.
Yeah, because you'd be like, Mom!
Yeah.
This game's only $3! Please!
Yeah. But I remember there were some really bad games I'd pick up on the PS2. I'd see them, dang, that box art is so neat.
But then it would be like the GameStop box art, and you'd be like, whoa!
I won't do that now. I don't like to buy games without the box art.
Yeah. But do you remember that? The
I do.
GameStop box art? Like, you just
the
look
gangsters
at it?
on the train.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
Dude, that brings back memories, man. I remember I used to just sit there and just look at that.
Yeah.
And just be like, man, This is like me and my friends.
Me and my friends are gangsters on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even then, just picking it up, going home, and saying, this is amazing, and then picking it up 6 years later, saying, oh, I forgot I have this, and then put it in and be like, this game is awful.
Or, like, what I was going to say is, like, that feeling of, like, playing a game and, like, having this certain sense of, like, bewilderment and, like, discovery, you know? Like, I think the last game I had that with was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's so much stuff that can happen in that game and, like, so many cool encounters and stuff and, like...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just, like... It's like whenever you first picked up Skyrim, like, the first time, you're never going to be able to get that feeling back.
You won't. And I didn't like Skyrim for a little bit at first. When I got into that little village, it was still kind of a okay game, but then after I started exploring, it was...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, there's just, like... I think, like, games have kind of lost that feeling, for me anyways, like...
Yeah.
And there is every so often a game, like I said, like Red Dead Redemption 2, that'll just bring that back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there'll just be, all of a sudden, like, what's the word I'm trying to say?
Like, sense of exploration?
Yeah, like, this sense of discovery, you know, and, like, you're, like, you have this feeling, like, I could play this game forever and not find everything.
Yeah. Originally, for Breath of the Wild, I was just really disappointed that it wasn't like other Zelda games. So for the first playthrough I did, I really wasn't happy with it. I hated it. And then I played through it again, and I still wasn't pleased with the story, but it gave me this incredible sense of exploration. The first time I played through Breath of the Wild, and when I didn't enjoy it, I still probably clocked in about 120 hours into that game. And then I played through it again, and I probably got at least another 150 hours in, maybe.
Yeah.
And there was still stuff I was finding I didn't see before. Different side quests, different shrines, Kordoks, just completely different areas I didn't even know existed in the game. It's huge, and I really took it for granted that the traditional Zelda story wasn't what they were going for here, and I don't really like that too much, but just from what I was able to explore, different ruins... Things that even had no relation to the rest of the game were just put there to add this sense of exploration to the game, and it really added to it.
That's how I felt when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Like, it gave me such a good feeling of, like, exploration when I was playing the game. And I guess that feeling kind of came back to me, but not as strong when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Because, like, even now I know there's stuff that I just missed. Even though I clocked in, I think, 80 hours in the game, which is a really large amount of time to spend in a game of that style.
Yeah, people have been saying it's usually 40 hours.
Yeah, like, I've spent so much time just exploring. And there's just so many, like, little things, and there's details in the environment, and, like, it's just such a... The game is one of those things... I mean, that feeling is just one of those things that I really treasure whenever it happens in a video game. And I can tell whenever that happens, I'm like, this is going to be a game that I'm going to be able to come back to 10 years from now. And I'm going to play it, and I'm going to go like, yeah, this was still a good game.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been with Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim. Red Dead Redemption 2, I don't get that as much because... It like I guarantee that like 10 years from now I'm gonna be able to pick it up and play it again, but it's just because the story was so fresh to me at the time.
Yeah,
like I went in and I tried to do another playthrough like a month after, and there was just nothing really driving me because I already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
and that's one of the main driving factors for me when I play a video game is a story.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't think I could jump into a second playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order, because that was the thing that was driving me to go explore and find these things, because I was like, there's only going to be a limited amount of time I can play this because the story will end, you know.
I agree. And the game Nier Automata,
what
really bothered me about that is the first playthrough you go through the story as 2B, which is, you know, one of the characters. I don't know why I needed to explain that, but I did. Anyway, you play through the story as her, and then that unlocks ending A, depending on how you did it. If you play through the story normally, it'll finish ending A. And then the story restarts with some slightly additional cutscenes and, what's his name? 9S's side of the story, which is 2B's companion.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really boring about it is that 9S's part of the story doesn't diverge until about halfway through the game. So you have to put in about 15 hours of the first part of the game until it starts to diverge again.
Yeah.
So it's really boring until that point happens.
So...
And he's weaker than 2B, and you play as him, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I remember you complaining about that whenever you were playing that game. Did you ever finish it?
I finished it. I loved it. I sold it, but I really want to get the complete edition so I can fight the Square Enix CEO.
There's the... What was that game that you're a cop? It's a fighter. Like
Judgment?
It's a beat 'em up. It's a beat 'em up game.
It's Judgment.
Judgment?
Yeah, Yakuza spinoff?
No. You're like... It's like super anime. Like you're a cop and...
Oh, Astral Play.
Yeah, Astral Chain, right?
Yeah, I said play.
Yeah. I actually really want to play that game. I've heard it's good.
Dude, I kind of want to just go pick it up, like...
Yeah. Because, like, everything I hear about it, I'm like, alright, that sounds pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard that there's just, like, all kinds of really cool side quests and stuff in the game, and then there's, like, lore in the game that's just, like... I heard the game is also just really explorable and fun.
It's like getting Japanese Cyberpunk earlier than Cyberpunk.
Yeah. It's with that Japanese jank.
Yeah.
It's Cyberpunk with Japanese jank. Yeah, that's one of those games that I'm really wanting to get.
Yeah. All of Platinum's games, their latest works have been really interesting me.
Yeah, definitely.
Babylon's Fall, Astral Chain, Nier Automata.
Yeah, that one, Transformers Devastation. That was Platinum, right?
That was made by Platinum?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I think so. It was one of the ones that wasn't received too well, though.
Transformers Devastation?
I think it was received well, but I heard this campaign was only like 6 hours, and so it really made people mad.
Yeah, mega short. It was a mega short game.
That's what a lot of their games were for a while. I think they partnered with Activision when they made those.
Yeah.
And that's why they were like that. Because they also made Mutants in Manhattan, and that game was also...
Yeah, I've heard that was awful.
Yeah. The art style for both of those is good, though.
Yeah.
But people say now, like, I assume Devastation would be good to get into now since it's cheaper.
Yeah, Transformers Devastation was a really fun game, but then there was also these weird RPG mechanics. Like, excuse me, like, seemed like it was wanting you to go through multiple playthroughs of the game.
Yeah.
With New Game Pluses. But once you beat it, like, it was just kind of like, alright, that was a cool experience, I don't really want to do it again. Because there was, like, weird RPG mechanics, like, you could equip things and upgrade weapons and stuff, but then, like, it didn't seem flushed out, it seemed like just kind of tacked on. I remember that.
You said flushed out.
What?
You said it didn't seem flushed out.
Yeah. It didn't seem flushed out. It just seemed kind of tacked on.
It's fleshed out.
Fleshed?
Yeah, it didn't seem too fleshed out.
No, it's flushed.
No, it's fleshed.
It's definitely not.
It is totally fleshed out.
No, it's flushed.
What?
Yeah.
I'm looking this up after this. You know what? I don't know where my phone is.
It's definitely... No, it's flushed out. It's 110,000% flushed out.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Here, I'm looking it up right now. Start talking about something interesting.
Okay, so while we're doing that, I guess I'll go ahead and start talking on my top 5 games.
Yeah.
Before... I'll go ahead and list them all out now, and then we'll get into some deeper discussion. These aren't in any particular order because it's really hard for me to put things in order, since I really do love all of these games that I'm about to mention. My top 5 games ever are Twilight Princess, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Batman Arkham City, after that, Persona 5, and Nier Automata. I really thought all those games were really fun, and I just enjoyed all of them.
Yeah, and I was wrong but right, because it says like there's flushed and fleshed out, but they're pretty much interchangeable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess we were both right and wrong.
Yeah.
And what were your games? I'm sorry, I totally zoned. I was reading the definitions.
It's okay. And my games, for my opinion on my favorite games always changes.
Oh yeah, like the top 2 or 3 are pretty much mainstays, but then the last 2 are always wishy-washy for me.
Yeah, not really for me. I just kind of throw a jump a little all over the place.
Yeah, well, like I'm not saying like the top 3 are like
locked in. You can never get anything better.
Yeah, like I'm just saying like the top 3, and I'm not saying those are my 3 favorite games in order.
Yeah,
I'm just saying those are definitely probably gonna be in there.
Okay, yeah, none of mine are in order at all. So, top 5 games as of now are Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Persona 5. That might be beaten out by the Royal. I don't know what that'll bring to it. Nier Automata, Batman Arkham City. How many games have we said?
4.
And then Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess? Wow.
That was the most sarcastic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, and Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's in there.
Just...
Yeah, I really like Batman Arkham City, but I don't think I've ever played any of those other games to completion.
Yeah.
I think I might have got my hands on all of them maybe
You
once.
probably played Twilight Princess back when you had a Wii.
I did.
Yeah.
But I never, like, beat it or anything.
Yeah.
I think it was because my copy was messed up, and I'd get to a certain point, and then the game would just freeze.
Didn't you say you didn't have a way to save your games on your Wii?
Yeah, I also didn't have a way to save, so...
It's awful.
I
I remember you telling me you had to play Skyward Sword, and then every so often you'd have to... Not every so often, but when you restarted, you'd have to play through the entire tutorial again.
Yeah.
That sounds awful. I don't
know why I kept playing video games at that point, because I also didn't have a memory card for my PlayStation 2, which was my main form of entertainment. I didn't have a memory card for my PlayStation 2 for literally years. Okay?
What?
I didn't have any way to save games on my Xbox 360 when I first got it. That was like... I didn't have a way to save any games for like a year and a half.
Why would you do that?
It wasn't like... I just liked playing video games, you know? Like... Yeah. So, want me to name off my top 5 and we can talk about...
No, I really don't want you to.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's the end, guys.
Yeah.
My top 5 are Dragon Age Origins, Fallout New Vegas, dang. I'm really thinking about what I should put in this top 5 now. I thought I had it, but now I'm thinking. Skyrim is definitely up there. Ooh. Jedi Fallen Order, I'm putting it in there. And... Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
And that's really impressive, because 2 of those games came out, like, very recently. And that shows you how good games have been.
Wait, let me see. Fighters and... What was your other one?
Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. Yeah, you've talked a ton about Fallen Order. After you were playing it, you just... Dude, you gotta play Fallen Order.
It's so good, man. It's such a good game. The story is so engrossing. The characters are so good. The combat is challenging but fair. Don't play it on normal. Play it on the difficulty a little bit better, harder.
Grandmaster.
No, not Grandmaster, but like Jedi.
Why not Grandmaster?
Because then it's like you literally die in one hit. Like literally, you can't get hit, and then you die.
It's like Wolfenstein's 2 difficulty.
Yeah, like, dude, I beat Wolfenstein 1 on the hardest difficulty, and that
Was it the one-shot kill?
Yeah, that was an accomplishment. All right, That was the most grueling experience I've ever had.
That sounds awful. I played through it on, I think it was normal, and I almost died so many times.
I mastered that game, man. But now I guarantee if I went and played it now, I wouldn't have any idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I remember, Dragon Age Origins is definitely my number one game.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I've said it on the podcast before. Dragon Age Origins is my favorite game.
Yeah, you guys don't know Austin, but occasionally he'll get in these spells where all he'll talk about is Dragon Age Origins.
I love that game so much. And I love the Dragon Age universe. The Dragon Age 2 is not that great of a game. And Dragon Age Inquisition, even though people say is not as good as Dragon Age Origins, I still think it gets hate more than it deserves. And then, yeah, those are the only 3 Dragon Age games. But Dragon Age 2 is just unbearable. But people go and are now saying that game's not that bad.
It's a classic now.
I hate that game so much.
Was the original Dragon Age good?
The original Dragon Age was Dragon Age Origins.
That was the very first one?
Yeah, that's why it's called Origins.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like a prequel.
Yeah, no.
I was really confused because I've only played Inquisition. I hated it, so I stopped. So I thought the people referred, just never talked about the first one. Kind of how people don't go into the first Elder Scrolls games all that often.
Oh yeah. You basically just start off from Morrowind on.
Yeah. But even then, some people say Morrowind's unbearable to play at times.
Oh yeah, because the walk speed's just so slow.
I've heard it's slow, and there's this weird thing in it where you can hit a guy, but it won't hit them because it has a chance to miss.
Yeah, it's basically just dice rolling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like how Dragon Age Origins or KOTOR is. You'll be standing there, and then you'll you'll see each other hitting each other, but then you'll just see it's like you're taking turns, but then there's just an animation playing. Pretty much.
And then for quests, they'd also give you dialogue, right? But it didn't give you a marker, and it didn't show up in your quest inventory, did it? Like the directions?
I believe that they gave you directions, and you could look at the directions.
Okay, that's what was true. I prefer the marking system, but directions don't really make me too mad.
I've heard that the mods make it a lot more playable.
Okay.
They just add quality of life stuff in a lot of mods.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild didn't have any quest markers in it too because it wanted you to explore things, but I always kind of either accidentally found them or I just said, "Oh, that's what they were talking about." They were pretty descriptive with what they wanted you to find.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad for me.
Yeah, I've played games where there's no quest markers and stuff, and it definitely Jedi Fallen Order doesn't really have any quest markers or anything. All it does is tell you you need to go to this place.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the map, and then there's just a highlighted area. Mm-hmm. And especially if the map's unexplored, you're all okay, I don't know how to get to that area, but I'll get there eventually.
Usually in Skyrim, though, if I have a quest marker, and it's it's straight ahead. Oh, there's a mountain in front of me? I guess I'll just climb up the mountain.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Instead of going around the mountain, you spend more time trying to get up it?
Yeah. I remember one thing that I've always done with Bethesda-style RPGs is that marker will come up, and then I'm all all right, I gotta follow the roads. But then I realized at one point, I was wait, there's all kinds of locations that aren't by the roads in these games.
Yeah.
And then I was I need to get off the roads.
Get off the road, dude.
I was I need to start exploring. Actually exploring. But I think it's because I have this subconscious thing where it's all all right, if I'm on the road, nothing bad is going to happen.
Did you get that from New Vegas.
Yeah. Because I remember the first time I played Fallout New Vegas, this guy, I used to live with him. He was all like, dude, do not go off the road, okay? Deathclaws will come up and just start killing you immediately. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, holy crap. I was like, I need to stay on the road. And then, like, there'd be a quest and it'd be like, oh, you have to go off to this shack, but it would be like a little ways off the road, and I'd be like, oh my god. And then I remember I'd holster my gun and I'd just go straight towards it, and I'd be like the entire time I'd be like shaking because I was so scared that a Deathclaw would just come out of nowhere and kill me. And I was like, oh my god, I haven't saved, but it's too late. What if a Deathclaw's right behind me and I don't know it?
Yeah.
So then, like, I realized, oh, with Deathclaws and stuff, they're only in a certain part of the map.
You don't need to live in constant fear.
Yeah.
I remember you did the same thing to me, except I was being really stubborn about it.
Yeah.
You said, no, you gotta do... I really hated it back then. It was when you tried to get me to do this, like 7th grade?
Yeah, probably 7th, 6th grade.
Yeah. Anyway, he was trying to get me to play it, and I played it because I really wanted to. But he told me, stay on the road or else the Deathclaws will get you. And I was just I was refusing it. I kept saying, no. I want to do it my way. And he he fought with me for, I almost said fitted. Fitted with me for a little bit, and then he decided, alright, I'll let him do whatever he wants, and Deathclaws came up and tore me apart. It kind of scared me.
Yeah, because you actually went into the area of the map. I was like, oh, I've never been to this area, and you were all like, yeah, and then you were staying on the road, and I'm surprised how far, because I remember this, I'm surprised how far you got without encountering any Deathclaws, because now when I play that game, as soon as I get past that point, I cannot walk for 5 minutes without there being a Deathclaw. But I remember you playing, and you walked for a good probably 15-20 minutes along that road without seeing anything, and then you're all like, no, I'm gonna go off the road. And then, like, the Deathclaws started coming, and you're like, ah!
It was the most terrifying thing at that point in my life.
In those games, Deathclaws are actually terrifying.
Were they not as scary in 4? I don't remember.
Oh, no. In 4, you literally kill a Deathclaw within the first hour of the game.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember that point, though. It wasn't intimidating either, because you could sit in a building and shoot it, and it couldn't hurt you.
Yeah, and then also you're in power armor.
Yeah.
The most powerful armor in the game.
I do prefer the Fallout 4's version of power armor over Fallout 3's, where it was just equipable.
Yeah. Like, I think it adds to... I think it's cool, but...
I also really like the scene where you had to walk into the wasteland. At the very bottom corner of the map that was full of radiation, you had to get in the power armor, and there were, like, Deathclaw nests.
Oh, yeah, that was cool, but then again, like... That game, there was cool parts about it for the lore of Fallout, but then also they put Nirnroot in there, which is like an Elder Scrolls thing, and then they're trying. I think that, like, then people are kind of upset. They're like, no, because then that messes up the lore of Fallout and Elder Scrolls, because Nirnroot existing in Fallout shouldn't be possible.
It could just be an Easter egg if you don't want to look past that.
Yeah, but there's an entire quest line attached to it.
Is there?
Yeah.
I must have never found that.
Yeah, it's for the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, I hated them. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, but there's Nirnroot, and that's what, Nirnroot and Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
And people are like, does that mean Fallout and Elder Scrolls are connected, and that they're...
It's really pronounced Nirnroot?
Yeah.
I always thought it was Ninroot.
No, it's Nirnroot, because there's the R.
Oh, I thought it was a Y. Or an I.
It's Nirn root.
Oh! I guess I just never read the R.
There's been things where, like, I'd be reading a book and saying something in my head the entire time, and then I'd look at the word and I'd be like, oh, there's a W there. I'd be like...
Once you see it, like, once and you already have in your head that this is the idea, it takes a while for you to realize you've been looking at it wrong.
Yeah. Especially if it's just, like, one of those made-up words.
Yeah.
Like, like some sort of caste or a group or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like the Morthos or something, but actually it would be Morthetios.
Yeah. Or Or it'll be, this is slightly different. It'll be one of those things that you read in your head one way, and then you hear someone pronounce it on like a movie or something, and it's completely different, and that's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
It's what? Like you've been pronouncing it Hyrule instead of Hyrule or something like that.
If someone pronounces it Hyrule...
They shouldn't. It's nasty, but I never did that. I just want you to know.
That'd be really weird if you were reading, like, Legend of Zelda books and stuff before you ever play this game, and you're like, what, it's Hyrule?
well, a lot of it was text-based before they added.
Yeah, I know, but...
Actually, it was all text-based before Breath of the Wild.
Well, there was little bits of voice acting in the game.
Not real dialogue. It was all gibberish.
Yeah, but wasn't there, like... I remember there being, like, dialogue at some point.
Hyrule Warriors had dialogue, but that's not canon.
Huh. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So... I noticed a lot of my games, like my top games, are RPGs.
Yeah.
And like I noticed a lot of your games are more like action focused.
Yeah.
What were all your games? Nier Automata, Persona 5, right?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. After that, I'm trying to get a grip of where I was. Batman Arkham City.
Yeah, that's 3 action games out of the 4 that you've said so far.
Yeah, and then the 5th one was...
Gosh. Wow, CJ.
No,
For your top 5 games, you don't seem to know them very well.
Oh, it's Twilight Princess.
So another action adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't... That's not definitive because I went into this episode not knowing what my top 5 games were, so I came up with those on the spot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
like, this is not definitive. Like, for me, like I said, my top 3 games are always going to be Fallout New Vegas, Dragon Age Origins, and, man, actually, these last 3 are really wishy-washy. I'd definitely say Skyrim, probably.
Yeah, but after the 5 I just listed, I don't know if Arkham City would be up there. I've just been thinking about Batman a lot, so that's probably hindering my judgment. But... Batman could easily be replaced with New Vegas or something like that. Or even immediately after those 5, would you get into... Okay, I haven't played that much of New Vegas, I'm not going to lie, but I can easily see why Austin likes it. And it would probably be Skyrim immediately after that. Let's see. I might even put KOTOR in there.
Yeah. Have you ever played Dragon Age Origins?
No, but I wanted to buy it, but I already bought it on Steam. I don't want to re-buy it. I only bought it on Steam because it was like $3.
Do you think you could run it?
Rent it?
Run it. On your PC.
It's a 360 game, right?
Yeah.
I might
Early
be able...
360.
Early 360?
Yeah.
I can run New Vegas on high graphics.
Yeah.
I have to turn all the aliasing down and render speed.
Yeah.
Could you have that much options in Origins?
Not on the 360. I don't know about on PC.
I guess I could give it a download. I have a data cap here unless you want me to lug my entire computer over to your house.
Yeah, but another game that I highly recommend because there's just and don't cheat the system, okay? There is this system that's really stupid. This one of my main complaints about Dragon Age Origins is that you can just gift people items and their reputation will go up. You can literally just keep gifting someone items and do everything that they hate, but as long as you keep gifting them items, especially important items to the character, your reputation will just shoot way up with them. Like, you can be a complete terrible person to Morrigan or Liliana or Alistair or whatever you want, but as long as you give them enough gifts, they'll eventually... Oh, excuse me. They'll just be like, hey, I think I'm in love with you. They're just like, oh yeah, me too.
That's how it works in real life.
Yeah, you just keep giving people things until they fall in love with you.
Yeah, that's what I did to my cousin.
Oh, no.
I don't support incest. That was a joke.
That's what you want them to think.
Where's my Alabama? Oh. Yeah. I really like that one spot in Arkham City, though, where you could lean down by Batman's parents' graves.
Yeah.
I don't know why their outlines are still there. That doesn't make any sense. It bothers me. I also don't know why it's legal to have all these criminals in a forgotten part of the city.
Yeah, just that doesn't seem quite right.
No. It also seems like they might have a bit too much power. There's also an ocean behind them, so I can't imagine it would be too hard to escape from...
And boats.
Yeah, I think the thing is, though, like, if they try to swing around from Arkham City, it's, like, very heavily guarded.
No, but there's boats.
Oh, yeah, so they could, like, row...
They could just go out into the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking with the whole city.
Or except maybe there might have been, like, some sort of, fence or something.
They had to have explained it somewhere.
Yeah.
They had to have had explanation. But Catwoman lives in Arkham City, right?
Well, I think all the villains did because they were there.
But she's just there acting as a thief, I thought.
Well, I think she's also just a criminal there.
So who's paying her? Do they have currency in this little villain village?
Well, I think they probably use money.
But they're all villains, and whenever Batman sees them, they're all just kind of in the street looking for someone to fight.
Well, they're probably, like... I think, like, the regular dudes, they're all like, yeah, we're stuck here. But then, like... I think the regular criminals, like the villains, supervillains, are all like... Alright, yeah, we're gonna break out of here eventually.
Someone who just recently played this game is probably getting really mad at us for saying these things.
Yeah.
I definitely need to replay the Arkham games.
I need to at least replay Arkham City.
I need to play Asylum. I never finished Asylum.
You never did?
I got halfway through, and then I think my mom didn't like it because I think it showed Harley Quinn's boobs too much, and she got mad.
There's too much cleavage.
Yeah. My mom always got mad about that stuff in games. She wouldn't let me play Arkham City at first because on the back it had Harley Quinn sexually posing.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Didn't I help you convince her?
Yeah.
I was like, that literally only happened. Like, she's literally only in the game like once or twice.
What's weird about it though is that I don't know. Branding definitely influenced my mom. If it was a Nintendo game, Twilight Princess rated T for teen, just like Batman Arkham City, except Arkham City, it showed Harley Quinn on the back like that. And then I was playing Twilight Princess, and there's this lady, and she has her, first of all, the Great Fairies are naked.
Yeah.
And then there's this other lady, I think her name's Telma, and she just has her boobs hanging out, and my mom doesn't care. She was like, it's Zelda, it's cool, it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah, it's made for kids.
But then if a Batman game does it, she says, oh, that looks dark and gritty, it must not be suitable for kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think every parent kind of does that, though.
Yeah, some might not understand Nintendo, but...
Yeah, but, like, if there's a game, I think ratings and presentation really influence, what parents allow their kids to play.
But Twilight Princess never looked like a fun and happy game. Its art style even made it look dark and gritty.
Yeah, that's true. I think there was a couple of times where you'd be like, dude, I don't know if my mom's gonna let me play this game. And it would be like an E10 rated game, but then you're like, look at the cover art. It's like all black. And I'd be like, dude, what do you mean? And then you're like, I just don't know if my mom will let me play this.
Yeah. Picking up Star Fox Adventures, dude.
I don't know. I opened it up and then the manual has a girl and she has boobs. I don't know.
CJ, that's an animal.
She has boobs.
My mom doesn't acknowledge they exist. Or I don't know. I guess that was the only. She also didn't like gore. It was boobs, language, and gore. She hated all three of those.
Remember that one time when I brought Call of Duty Black Ops 2 over?
Yeah.
Right? And me and you were playing, and then you're all like, yeah, and we were talking to your mom about that, the last round we had in Zombies or whatever, and I shut off the gore and everything as well, because your mom was like, I don't let you guys play that if there's gore. And I was like, well, we can shut it off. Mm-hmm. And then I shut it off and everything. And then you were all like, yeah, so I had the Olympia and stuff, and then your mom was like, oh my god, this is what I was worried about. And we were like, what? And she's like, now you know the names of guns. We were like, oh.
So what do you expect me to do with that knowledge, Mom?
Yeah. Like, that was, like, probably one of the oddest reasons for her not to want you to play a game.
Yeah. I remember that, too. Because even in my... I didn't really question a lot of things when this happened, but even then, I knew that was strange.
Yeah, you were like, what? You're not mad about them, like, dropping F-bombs and stuff, like, but... the names of guns that don't actually exist because it's a futuristic Call of Duty game?
Yeah. Or my mom did a lot of weird stuff. Or I was playing Fallout 4 and she came in, I was using VATS, and my little 6-year-old sister was sitting next to me. I said, Mom, you should really get her out of here. I don't think she's allowed to see this. And then my mom said, no, that's cool. She sat in here, she saw me play Fallout 4, she heard the language, she
blowing off people's heads and stuff.
Yeah, she was cool with it. And then my little sister was just sitting there, and it made me angry. I wanted to almost kick her out, just because I know my mom would not be that cool if I was the one sitting there.
That always happens. If your parents had another kid, they'd be even more lenient.
Oh, you want to go get in a knife fight with your friend? Okay.
No, like, seriously, like, whenever I was a kid, I was not allowed to play anything that was, like, M-rated and stuff, like, my parents did let off, eventually, a lot earlier than your parents did, but I remember, like, I wasn't allowed to play any M-rated games and stuff, nothing that's, like, gory or sexual, you know, but then, like, around the age of, like, 13, 14, they started to let up a bit, and, like, they would let me play certain M-rated games, you know, but then, like, whenever I was around that age, you know, my little brother, like, Mikey, I'd be like, no, he's not allowed to play Gears of War.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I wasn't allowed to play Gears of War when I was Mikey's age. But then I would also kind of be like, no, I'm not complaining because I don't have anyone else to play video games with.
Yeah.
So I just play games with him. And then my mom every so often would walk in and be like, should he be allowed to play this? But then there would be certain games where it was like, you know, a single player game or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be all like, no, Mikey shouldn't be allowed to play this. Stop.
You wouldn't let him play Wolf Among Us, I remember that.
Yeah, for a while.
Was it because of the strip club scene, or was it all of it?
There was it was just a very mature game.
Mm-hmm.
But then I eventually let him play it, like, a year after, because he was, like, 13 or 14 at the time, when he actually played it.
Gotcha.
And, oh, dude, Wolf Among Us might be in my top 5 favorite games.
That is a pretty smacking game.
Like, just the story is so good.
Yeah.
What else? What I was gonna say? What I was gonna say? It was something about. Oh yeah, and then my little brother after that, Ryan, he was playing literally M-rated games and stuff in Gears of War when he was 8 years old, and I was like, whenever I was that age, I wasn't allowed to play this. And then, like, I think it was for his 9th birthday, they got him Grand Theft Auto 5, and I was like, I could never even dream of getting a Grand Theft Auto game when I was 9, 10 years old.
I still can't play Grand Theft Auto as long as I live with my parents.
Really?
Yeah, they still won't let me get it. If I went out and bought it myself, they might take it away. I actually don't know what they do. I might try it.
It's not that bad of a game.
It's not that bad.
You have Red Dead Redemption 2, which has all of the same stuff.
I know. But the fact that it's labeled Grand Theft Auto bothers them. Maybe they think I'll try it because it looks modern enough, but they know I won't try what's in Red Dead Redemption.
Maybe it's because of, like, that stuff that was happening, you know, like, people, like, shooting up schools and stuff and saying, like, oh, I did it because I was playing Grand Theft Auto.
Maybe. It's the nudity that scares them, though.
Red Dead Redemption 2 has it, too, and you have other games with nudity in it, too, don't you?
I know. I played The Witcher 3. My mom knew it had nudity. Assassin's Creed Origins. I mean, it's not really in front of your face, but it's there.
Yeah.
And then...
What else?
There's got to be some others.
Until Dawn, I think, has some nudity.
Oh, does it? They don't know about that game, though.
They don't know about that. That's our little secret.
I was Disney Infinity. Donald Duck does not wear pants.
Spyro Reignited Trilogy, that's naked dragons all over the place.
Yeah. Actually, most of them are clothed. It's just Spyro who's naked.
Really?
Yeah, in the remaster, they actually added clothes to a lot of the dragons.
Seriously?
Yeah, they give them some personalities. I don't think they wear pants, though. It's just shirts. It's really
Doom
weird
has
with the anthropomorph.
some nudity.
Does it?
Yeah, like some of the demons, I believe they're topless.
Oh, I was hoping Doom guy.
Oh. Wolfenstein. The Wolfenstein games had nudity.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I remember
Not
that.
extreme.
Dude, no, there was this one really awkward scene in it. I remember. He walked up behind. What was her name?
Anya?
Yeah, and he said, "Hey, how about we take a break from work?" She said, "Okay."
And then it just cut to a weird...
Yeah. I was like, what the heck? It actually took me back for a second because I didn't know what was happening.
You're all like, whoa. Or it's all like, no, like, they were like about to, like, it was like after a plan and stuff, right? And then they were all like, hey, you got any spare time? And they're like, yeah.
That's what they said. It didn't seem too romantic or anything.
It was like, hey, you got some spare time? And then all of a sudden just...
Yeah. And also, I want to say something about that game. Anya is kind of a creep. Because I get why BJ can like Anya because she protected him for all these years and looked after him. But Anya was looking after a vegetable. And it's kind of creepy that she just cooks up with BJ immediately.
Honestly, I think, like, I would probably fall in love with BJ.
Why is he so beefy after that?
Oh, he shouldn't be. Because it's like literally 10 years he was a vegetable.
Yeah.
Just sitting in a chair.
Maybe occasionally they'd get him up and then they'd animate his body parts to do workouts.
Dude, but you gotta admit, that scene, though, is really dope. Like, whenever, like, they're in the hospital and they're, like, killing the people and then they come to shoot you and then all of a sudden
you just grab the gun?
Yeah, like, you just break out and you grab the gun and stab him. You're all like, let's go! You're all like...
That was pretty cool. The ending part was pretty dope, too.
Where you're fighting the...
You throw the spindly torque.
Yeah.
And then rip off the walls.
That wasn't in... Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, it was. I know it happened.
I was thinking about the new Colossus, the Wolfenstein 2.
Is it worth playing?
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the first one that much.
I think the first one's way better.
You do?
Yeah, like, I don't know, but there's more exploration and stuff in the second one.
Man, I just wasn't a fan. Maybe it's because I played it on PS4 and there were a lot of technical difficulties.
There were?
I don't know. A lot of things felt really janky and off. And BJ seemed to do some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the PlayStation or if Xbox has it too. The water sequence felt really funky at the end.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of points in the game that are a little janky, but overall I think it's a good game.
But Youngblood is my favorite.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't played that, but I've heard it's not good.
Yeah, I haven't played it either, but I've seen trailers, and those girls are the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've seen Mr. Matty Plays. He talks about it, and every single time he's all like, I do not understand. Like, did nobody that was working on this game have a sibling? It's like, the way they interact with each other is so uncomfortable. Like, they do not act like siblings whatsoever.
What would you compare them to?
Like, I've seen some clips and stuff, and, like, they seem just, like, I don't know, like, really weird, like, stoner dudes. Kind of? Not real. I don't know. Like, they seem like they're, like, trying to be, like, oh, we got, like, this bond going because we're siblings, but it's, like, just not there. Like, it seems like two people, like, really faking it.
You're my friend, dude.
Oh.
We do podcasts because we're friends.
He has been my friend for a very long time.
Freaking A, dude.
Yeah. But those games, the Wolfenstein games, I used to probably think that they were in my top 5, but not anymore. Especially with Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, and I recently replayed Wolfenstein. Not like recently, but like a couple months ago, I went and replayed the first Wolfenstein, and like I said, I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't like super good.
Yeah.
But I did really like the characters. Characters are a very strong part of that game. And I also thought the story was good.
It just wasn't anything special to me.
Alright, so now that we've talked about games enough, do you want to move on to like some movies or shows that we really enjoy, or
like a top 5 of those?
Yeah, if you want to.
This is just gonna be really quick. I think the podcast is gonna be kind of dragged along.
Yeah, probably. What are we at? Let's see. What are we at? Oh, we only got an hour in right now.
Okay, so we could probably go another 30 minutes.
Yeah, we could probably go another 30 minutes, or if we wanted to, we could go even another hour because the news is so fast.
If we wanna go over movies, you go.
Okay, I'm only gonna do top 3.
I'll do top 3 then too.
Okay, so Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Man.
Bill and Ted 2?
Yeah, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and I know number 3 is going to be Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music, so... so Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Probably the Joker.
The Joker is very good.
Joker and... probably either... Forrest Gump or Sling Blade.
What's Sling Blade?
It's a really good movie.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's based off a book that I still haven't read, but I'm probably definitely going to read that book.
Definitely gonna read it.
It's about, like, this, he's mentally disabled person.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's about him, and he killed his, mom with, like a sling blade. It's like basically like a small scythe, and he killed her because she was cheating, and he didn't know because he's mentally disabled.
Yeah.
And he killed the guy, and then the mom got angry, so then he killed her. But he ends up going to prison for it, and then he was in prison for pretty much his whole life ever since he was a kid, and then he gets out. And then it's just about his story from that point on. And it's just a really good story. And then, dude, it's such a good ending. Because, you start caring for these people. And it's not, your typical, sad ending. But, for me, I'm not going to spoil it here. Because I definitely want you to watch this movie.
Okay.
But... I remember I was watching it and I started crying just because of the emotional payoff for me. Because nothing in the end happens that makes me sad. If anything, the end I was all like, yes! But I was crying because it was just man, this is such a good character and good movie. And I definitely want to... I think it's based off a book, and I definitely want to read that book.
Read the book, dude.
And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I don't know, it's just one of those movies that...
It's your stoner dude movie.
Yeah, it's not really a stoner dude movie. I think, a more stoner dude movie would be, Dude, Where's My Car?
I've never seen that.
Don't. I don't think it's worth it.
You don't?
No. Or, American Pie, or...
I don't know, I really love stupid movies with no point.
Or, There's Something About Mary, that's kind of a stoner dude movie.
Well, then what you classify Bill and Ted as?
Bill and Ted is just like a comedy, like a music comedy.
But the first one doesn't even have that much to do with music.
No, but the whole reason they're doing it is because they want to do music.
But it's not like a musical comedy.
No, that's true. It's not a stoner dude comedy, though, because there's no drugs.
Bill and Ted act like they're high.
No, that's just them, man. They're just like,
but they're
excellent!
But their personalities are
They're
that they
really,
act like they...
No, they're just really stupid.
They act like they're doped out.
I think they're just really stupid. And, okay. If I'm going to be honest, there's definitely some exterior influences. Dude, but I can quote so much stuff from that movie. I just love Bill and Ted. It's just, I just find the humor really funny, and, I don't know. I don't know why I love it so much, but it's just one of my favorite movies. And then what was my third one? Joker.
Yeah.
And that movie is just a complete mind boggle.
I'm excited to see the new Batman movie, to see what is canon from the Joker movie.
Yeah. Because didn't they say it's going to be its standalone movie?
Yeah. The Joker?
Yeah. Joker. And it's... I don't know why I said that, because I looked at the poster and then I read Joker. But I sounded like I was correcting you. You're like, yeah, the Joker. And I was like, Joker.
It's like... What if you just saw it and you started reading it off? Joaquin Phoenix. Joker. October 4th.
Yeah. Did me and you go and see that movie together, or... No, we didn't.
I think me and Emily went.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend.
Yeah. But, dude, that movie was just a complete mind. Like, it's just a trip, dude. Because, like, okay, so it's cohesive enough for you to know what's going on throughout the whole thing, or at least think you know what's going on, but now that I've reevaluated it, and I've seen it a second time.
Yeah.
And, like, I've seen some theory videos and stuff, and, like, just people talking about it, and I'm like, this movie is way more complex than I thought it was. Like, the first viewing, I was still kind of like, man, that was kind of a trip. Like...
Yeah, and now that it's gotten a lot more popular, some people are trying to kind of bring it down.
Yeah, but I really liked that movie.
I think it borrows a lot of elements from other movies, and that's probably what they don't like about it.
I think the main thing that people don't like about it is that it's a DC, Joker movie, but it's not, it could literally just be about any crazy person if you really wanted it to be.
That is, yeah. Some people are like, oh, it's just not, he's gonna die at the end of this. Yeah. Some people thought that.
Well,
in the middle of the movie, they thought he might die, so which would really add to this could be any crazy guy.
Yeah. Especially if he died.
Yeah.
But I really hate the argument when people are always like...
It's not that deep, or...
Or they're like, no, he's too good of a person. He could never be the Joker.
That's the point of the movie. Especially since his whole life crumbled. Everything that made him good was just...
Yeah, it was taken away from him, or was wrong, or wasn't what it seemed to be.
Yeah. He had the job he had, he was taken out of through lies. Really, he's just been lied to or forced into a lie.
He was manipulated, he was lied to, he was cheated.
Yeah, he was cheated out of his job. His coworkers
manipulated him.
Yeah, he was beaten by people on the street just for his medical condition. His mom had abused him and lied to him his whole life. She possibly even manipulated him into being her caretaker.
Yeah. And then also she wasn't mentally stable, so you don't know... Like, and then even at that point, because... Okay, so she wasn't mentally stable, and then it doesn't explicitly say that she was the one who raised him.
Yeah.
Because it says that there's adoption papers and stuff, but then the adoption paper is blank, so we
Yeah.
don't even know if that's just all in his head.
Yeah, we don't know. We do know that she probably wasn't mentally well because...
Oh, she definitely wasn't.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't. She did have asylum records.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, like, there's just so much stuff in the movie that, like, if you really examine it, because it seems to be a very logical world.
Maybe.
Like, stuff makes sense.
Not Bruce
And then-
Wayne.
No, stuff makes sense, okay?
Dude, Bruce
But
Wayne
then-
is the most dead child I've ever seen. that
No,
can
but
move.
then we don't even know if that actually happens, because no kid would actually just walk up, let some guy walk up and start playing with their mouth. Okay?
But he had to believe he was a magician.
I wouldn't let no magician put their fingers in my mouth. Yeah, but I think, like, there's so much stuff that happens that I think is just in his head.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching the film theory video, film theorist, Matt Pat, and he was talking about how there's a point where, like, I explained it to myself as, like, he was laughing because of his laughing condition, that he wasn't able to control his laughs at the comedy club, and he's sitting there in the audience and he's taking notes, then everyone would laugh, then he'd start going, ha ha ha, like
On
start,
the offbeats.
yeah, like when he wasn't supposed to be laughing. But then nobody around him notices.
That's true, they never react.
Nobody reacts, and then, like, if it was his disability, then he would either just not be laughing, or he'd be laughing at the appropriate times, because he can laugh when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's shown in other parts of the movie.
Or sometimes he acts completely normal. Like, on the ride up with... There are times when he seems strangely normal and confident. Like, on the...
Yeah, but I think those points are the points where it's in his head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The parts where he walks into the elevator and... I actually forgot what her character name was, but everybody just refers to her as Zazie Beetz.
Yeah.
The actress. Anyway, she was in the elevator, and he's standing there, and he smirks at her, and then he makes a joke. But then after they get out of the elevator, he makes the situation extremely awkward.
Yeah, like, he goes and, like, pretends to commit suicide and stuff. And
Yeah. And the elevator, it seemed kind of simple with what he did, because he was just like... And he did still fake the suicide thing, but he just...
Yeah, but she did it too, and, like, that was the joke. Like, she looked at him, and then she went, and then...
Yeah.
And then he went and did it. But then he did it again in a really weird, awkward way.
Yeah, and but that was after they got out of the elevator, so
Yeah.
did that elevator conversation even happen? I assume it didn't, because she didn't even seem to recognize it from that when he went into her apartment at the end.
Yeah. No, like, their whole relationship seemed to be all in his head.
Yeah, that part seemed like it could have still happened, though, and then the relationship was something he... Well, maybe the elevator scene did happen because...
Well, the elevator scene, I think, happened.
Yeah, because then that's when he got an idea, that's when he personified her into this.
Yeah, he was like, oh, she might be interested in me.
Yeah.
And then he had this just idea in his head. Like, dude, it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
And then, what was I going to say? What was the other movie? There was the Joker, Sling Blade. I already talked about Joker and Sling
Bill and
Blade.
Ted.
Yeah, and then Bill and Ted. Yeah.
Move on.
What?
I was just going to say that. I don't know. What were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. But the Joker, there's so many good points in that movie, and there's, like, some people say that the whole scene wherever he shoots the person on the TV,
Yeah.
like, I think that part was real.
Yeah, I think
But
it
I
was
don't
too.
think the revolution stuff afterwards is.
I could go either way on that. I don't know if he got taken out of the police car, but I could see the revolution stuff being real too. Mainly because of the I don't know, I could see it. It's Gotham City. Riots happen.
Yeah.
And then Martha and Thomas Wayne do die, but it could be someone who was just inspired by Joker. There doesn't need to be a revolution in the background.
Yeah.
That part did feel really tacked on, though. You gotta admit.
What? The Batman
Yeah.
origin, yeah. That just seemed to be there because they felt like it had to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Joker.
Guys, we promise it's a DC movie. Yeah, but
I remember I brought that up once, and you're like, "No, it wasn't." I think it was like right after you'd seen the movie, so you're probably fresh.
yeah, I was probably like fresh off of it, and I didn't think about it. I was probably just like, "No, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really don't think that whole revolution thing happened and stuff. I think he was probably just
Thinking great of himself.
I think he probably was just taken off, and they put him into the asylum.
Yeah. I definitely don't think he got busted out, but yeah. I don't know. It was very good.
Have you ever seen that? I think it's Jimmy Kimmel, and he's talking to Joaquin Phoenix, and then like he says something, and then like Joaquin Phoenix, like it's just a meme format, and he's like, "Are you making fun of me, Jimmy?" It shows like Jimmy's face. He's all like, "What?"
Oh, I haven't seen that. That wasn't actually on a show?
I don't know if it was. I just seen.
I hope it is. That would be such a good joke.
Yeah. Are you making fun of me? But dude, that whole final scene was so tense.
Yeah.
Whenever he, like, I guess not the final scene, but like that scene whenever he's being interviewed is just so tense because you know what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh, crazy.
I think one of the things that was really bothering about his speech was that he kept bringing up the wrong points about the guys he killed, because they deserved to die. I didn't like those guys.
I don't know if they deserve to die.
They beat a man because he laughed.
Okay, yeah, but
They beat a man to the floor and kicked him and kept stomping on him. And then they only stopped when he pulled out a gun.
yeah. Those guys were kind of douchebags.
They could have killed him.
Yeah, they probably would have killed him, huh?
Yeah, because he had a medical condition.
Yeah. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
And then they were also, I think they were like, probably going to sexually assault a woman, right?
They were, and he said stop it or something.
No, he started laughing.
Oh, yeah, he started
because
laughing.
he started getting nervous.
Yeah.
They started laughing.
And then the lady ran away.
Yeah.
Why'd you laugh?
I'm just thinking, like, I was kind of about to stand up and defend these guys, but now I'm thinking, like, nah.
Nah, they're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
And that was another thing one thing that I did hate about the movie was everyone was a complete jerk. No one Joker came in contact with was a nice person, except for, the dwarf guy.
Yeah.
He was nice to Joker, and that's why he let him go.
Yeah. But then there was like
That part was probably the most intense scene of the movie for me.
when he just kills that dude.
Yeah, with the scissors, and then the guy's, oh no,
Yeah.
Arthur.
He's like, Arthur, come on, man. You know.
And I
I'll
really,
let you go.
and I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. And then there's that part where he jumps up and tries to scare him. He's like,
Ah! I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's aware of what he's done and he knows it's terrifying, but
Yeah.
he doesn't.
And I think that shows how crazy he is, though.
Yeah,
Because he's just able to take that life without having any remorse, nothing. Like
and he just
doesn't
casually jokes about it.
Yeah, he just jokes about it, and like any regular sane person that is like, you know, like people are all like, no, he's too good, he's too nice. I'm like, no, any person that's too good or too nice would feel some sort of remorse for what they do.
Yeah.
And what was his kill count by the end of the movie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people?
3 guys in the subway. They were the only ones who I think really deserved it.
The big dude.
The big dude, and then Murray. He didn't kill anyone else.
Are you sure? I feel like there was one more. His mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He smothered her.
Yeah, that was messed up.
I was okay with it. I'm probably part of the problem, maybe, but I agreed with a lot of the people he killed. Murray probably didn't need to die. Murray was just kind of a jerk, but I don't think he needed to die.
Yeah, and then, he also, the guy that came, the big guy that he killed, was all like, "Hey, Arthur, I'm really sorry."
Oh, yeah, he came over to tell him that.
Yeah, he's like, Arthur, I'm sorry. I was out of line. He's like, I was just, and then he also, I think he was kind of just coming, he's like, "Hey, so you still got that gun?" You know, trying to make sure that Arthur didn't, rat him out, but then also he seemed he felt bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess the only people I really am glad he killed were his mom.
And the 3 dudes.
Yeah. They were all awful people. The mom was a victim, but too...
I don't know if I agree with killing the mom, because I don't think she was all there either.
She wasn't, but... From what I was getting, she was all there before her boyfriend started abusing her, and she let that happen to her and her son.
I don't think it's she let it happen. I think it was she was kind of there's this thing with abusive relationships, there's a psychology to it, and that's why people can keep coming back to an abusive relationship.
It's still their fault, though.
It's not. It's literally a mental problem.
But
that people have. It's they can't help it.
I have more respect for people when they can, I don't know, if someone has a child, I can't, I
understand, I understand that point of view, but I'm just saying, in the defense is, she, I think that she was always messed up.
Yeah. Because,
first of all, to go back and forth into an abusive relationship, or to just stay in an abusive relationship, period. And then she seemed like she was also just she was recalling stuff, and then she's like, "Oh, I remember," and she's saying that.
Oh, Bruce that's Wayne, true, because she tried to hit on Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, she was saying that Bruce Wayne was her kid's dad.
Yeah.
I mean, not Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne.
Ew. Nah, I don't even think that's possible.
Yeah.
Since Arthur's 30 years older than...
Yeah.
Bruce. I want to see a Batman movie with the League of Assassins. They haven't done that yet.
Well, that's kind of out of left field, but yeah, that'd be cool.
I guess he kind of got into it in the first Batman trilogy.
I never watched those.
Yeah, I watched the first one. I never watched the second one, which people say is the best.
I tried watching that, and it is such a cringy 2000s superhero movie that I just can't.
Is it? I didn't really like the suit.
No, I hate the suit.
The only Batman suit I like that's in a TV show is the George Clooney. No, I'm kidding. The nipple suit. Who designed that? And they said, yeah.
Bat nipples.
Bat nipples go with the bat signal.
Oh.
I think my favorite's definitely the one from the newest Batman.
The Justice League and...
Yeah.
BV Superman.
I don't really like that Batman, but his suit design is my favorite.
Well, that Batman was pretty dope.
He was dope.
But they just didn't do anything with him.
No, they didn't. I think that was my issue.
Yeah.
DC just can't start a superhero universe with a Superman. They've started to fix it now, but they can't just be
You can't start off a superhero, a universe with your strongest, most powerful character.
I mean, you can, but you can't just start it with them, a joint movie with a hero we haven't had any base knowledge of in that universe.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman gets brought into it too for some reason, which is another character we haven't had any knowledge of in this new universe. And then Wonder Woman does come out. We still haven't had a Batman movie. Then they do a Suicide Squad movie, which is another movie with no characters we've had established that we haven't. And
a universe, and linked to another hero that would have made sense if we had 2 movies about that hero with these villains in the movie.
And then the Suicide Squad movie. Because then if you had the Suicide Squad movie, you wouldn't have to spend so much unnecessary time introducing these characters.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, that's Harley Quinn and the Joker from the second Batman movie.
Yeah, but they didn't do that.
Yeah. Or, yeah, and then they just jumped straight into Justice League.
Now, I don't even know what's happening in the DC universe anymore because all these actors are leaving and they're getting new actors in.
Yeah, then they have the Aquaman movie that people said was pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess. And then they're coming out with a Wonder Woman sequel, but then they're rebooting Batman.
Yeah, they're getting the guy from Twilight, and now they're also have a completely different actor for the Joker, but Harley Quinn's actress is the same.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's such a weird universe. Are they rebooting parts of it, or like?
Are they just keeping the parts that worked
Yeah.
and just getting rid of everything that didn't?
Acting like it never happened? We won't
Like-
address that Bruce Wayne is younger and has a different face.
Yeah, or they just won't connect it. They'll just be like, yeah, this is like the new ones.
Bruce Wayne died in a comic in this other universe.
Or Superman and Batman just aren't in the movies anymore.
That's so weird. I don't know what they're doing.
And then they like had the death of Superman way too early.
They did because we only had one movie about him before he died.
Yeah. And then they just brought him back in the most stupid way.
Batman vs. Superman was more of a Batman movie because they didn't have Batman established.
Yeah, and then Superman was barely in the movie too, right?
Yeah. What was it? Like, there was some things that Superman had less speaking lines in it than some side characters in other movies.
Spider-Man, in Civil War,
Yeah.
who was in the movie for a total of 12 minutes, had more lines than Superman in the entire, 2.5-hour movie.
I don't know what the DC universe just makes me mad because now they're kind of realizing, oh, those are really bad ideas. So now we're going to start making it good. But we can't retcon everything because that'd be confusing, so we'll make it slightly more confusing.
Oh, then there's also that Birds of Prey movie coming out.
Yeah.
And then Suicide Squad 2?
Yeah.
Or a reboot?
I don't know because it would have to have a different Joker if they wanted to include the Joker, right?
I think so.
It'd have to have Jacqueline Phoenix, but he's not signed on for a full contract.
But then he's also saying, he really wants to do other stuff with that character.
Maybe, because I think before the movie ended, he said he didn't want to do it again, but now he might be saying he wants to do more.
Because I remember him saying in, interviews and stuff that he's like, yeah, I want to do that. That was dope.
Yeah. They should have done what Marvel did because they need to lock them into contracts. So
Yeah.
it makes there needs to be consistency. I can't have all these characters leaving and just random actors fill their place.
Yeah, and the Marvel movies did a really good job with,
Consistency?
yeah, consistent actors and stuff. And then...
and a consistent tone, which I heard the Justice League movie is kind of awkwardly campy.
Justice League?
Or, funny.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't like it. And, I remember,
Now, don't get me wrong. I like who they replaced. I'll see how the new Batman is, but replacing Joker, that was a good move. I don't know if it was Jared Leto's fault entirely, or just
No,
bad.
I think it was just that interpretation of the Joker that was just bad.
I think it was, and I feel bad for Jared Leto getting copped out of that, because I think he could have done an okay Joker, but...
I liked whenever he was in it, the way he acted.
Yeah, but the Joker itself looked nasty, and I didn't like the way he acted and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like the character, not the actor.
Yeah. Because, and then, also, I heard that Jared Leto did do a lot of weird stuff, though, send, what's her name? The girl that plays Harley Quinn.
I don't know.
I forget her name. But, he sent her, a dead rat and stuff, and, love letters, and...
It's not weird.
Yeah.
That's...
all kinds of this.
Well, don't check your mailbox then.
Yeah, just all kinds of really weird stuff.
He bombed a hospital. He started an uprising in New York.
What's your favorite movies? Top 3.
Okay, top 3. Mulan.
Really?
Yeah, I really like Mulan. Probably. Okay, I can't. Everybody keeps telling me this movie's awful, so I'm going to rewatch it. But for now, Alita Battle Angel. There's one big gripe I have with that movie, which is that the city, they keep going on about how awful the city is, but it doesn't look that bad. I'd go live in that city. It seems pretty dope. Which I guess is a very big complaint, but I really enjoyed the rest of the movie, so I guess kind of not. Anyway, the manga does a better job of interpreting the city as a really bad place. Interpreting. Really shows our Missouri heritage.
Yeah.
And then after that...
Into the Spider-Verse?
Sure! I was gonna go with Tarzan, but Into the Spider-Verse works.
Really? You were gonna go with Tarzan?
I really like Tarzan.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I was gonna expect at least like one Marvel movie or something thrown in there.
Nah, I like Marvel movies, but none of them are my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's... I do like Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, because I was really thinking that you were going to pick Into the Spider-Verse as one of your top movies, because, like, you've talked so much about that movie and how much you really liked it, and the story, and the characters, and the animation, and just the process of making the movie, like...
Yeah, I guess I really do. It might be one of my favorites. Just sometimes, it's a personal problem I have. It has nothing to do with the quality of it. There are some things that really stick with me, and other things that don't, even if they are my favorites, but then I'll see it again and be like, I really like that. How'd I forget about it?
Uh-huh.
And like over there I was looking, and I just completely skipped past it. I didn't even acknowledge it was sitting there. I'm looking at my movie case, it said Treasure Planet, Dragon Ball Broly, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Blade Runner. And I said, okay. Yeah, I didn't acknowledge that was in the middle, squashed in between.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. I really liked it. I don't really know how I feel about just Miles getting his powers through, you can do it, man. Peace out. And he's like, I can't do it.
That was a weird Miles voice. I can't do it. Sound like Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2. Dutch.
Yeah, it wasn't like... It wasn't like a... What? It wasn't like a Brooklyn accent or a stereotypical...
It was... I can't do it.
It was some weird country accent. Some, like, super white country accent.
Peter. I can't. I'm not like good as Spider-Man as you.
Yeah, I'm excited for the second one.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. I'm also really excited that... Well, go ahead and talk about why you like the movies.
Why I like the movies?
Yeah, Mulan first, because I was kind of surprised.
I know you really don't like Mulan.
It's not that I don't like it, it's just kind of like... It's just another Disney movie to me.
Okay. Mulan's definitely my favorite Disney movie. I really enjoy it. I think one of the things I enjoy about it is that it's not... It doesn't shy away from its war premise like I would think a Disney movie would do. It kind of embraces that. It shows soldier loss in cities. You get to see an entire village torched. And they do a lot of things kind of subtly since it's a Disney movie and they don't want to show so much death. But like you get to see a torched village, and then you get to see Mulan pick up like a little doll that a little girl had.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of set the whole story there. And then when Mulan just wipes out an entire army with the rocket, I thought it was cool how it wasn't super brutal in it, but you still got to kind of see the armies clash.
Yeah.
But then you still got to see death. It wasn't so in your face like a war movie could be, but they made it for kids and adults. I was okay with the premise of Mulan becoming more of a man. I don't know how I feel about the romance between her and the general. Mainly because the general saw her as a man. But I don't think he was gay, and that's kind of weird.
I've heard that... Oh, never mind. That's Japanese. Keep going.
Yeah. I don't think he was gay, which I don't have a problem with people being gay. That's not what I'm getting at. I just don't think he was.
It wouldn't make sense for him to be gay.
Yeah, especially with the time period and his status.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know, different places had different rules for that. I don't know how China was during that period.
Yeah.
Anyway. It was okay, maybe, I guess. Maybe just thought she was strong and it really impressed him. I guess I could kind of get behind that now that I think about it a little more. I like how she stood in for her dad. I like
maybe he was like, man, maybe I am gay. He's like, man, why does this guy's butt look so good? This dude's dummy thick.
And that's some good humor too. I like the part where she's swimming around the wet river and she's about to get out, and then
then all the dudes come in and jump in the water and stuff.
And she's like,
he's like,
and they're like, come swim with us.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Mulan. I'm slightly less excited for the live action after I found out they were still gonna have magic in it. I was ready for a war epic without Mushu, but now that there's not magic, now that there is magic, I'm kind of surprised they took him out.
Mushu.
Yeah, and I also don't like how the actress supposedly said. I won't say that. I don't know if it's true or not. But
yeah,
I really like Mulan. The animation's also just really nice. Very clean. I miss the old 2D Disney animated style.
Yeah, I like that 2D Disney Renaissance.
Yeah.
With Aladdin, Tarzan.
I really liked it when they started using that software in the background that would make 3D, low poly, like 3D renders of things to add to the 2D to make it seem more vivid. Not vivid, but like it made things feel very flowy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the 2D movies had slight 3D environmental backgrounds.
Yeah. What about Alita?
Alita? I love the action in it. I like Alita herself. I like the world it builds. I know that's kind of contradictory to what I said about the city. But I like the other aspects of the world. If they improved on some things, I think they could make the city seem like more of a slum. I think that's one of the things that bothers me about it too, is that it's not perfect. So if they just took away the few things that made it seem like fun, I could imagine it being like hell. Mm-hmm. But they don't do that. They leave it in there and it's not a big deal. So that's what really bothers me about it. And this has gotten really long. This is our longest one yet, so
you should close out your thoughts of Spider-Verse, and then we can close out.
Oh, I forgot to hit Spider-Verse. I thought I was done. That's why I brought that up.
No.
Spider-Verse, I like that one. Animation's amazing. Storyline's amazing. Miles was a good character. I was excited to see a Spider-Man take on him and how they...
Can't do it, Peter.
I can't do it. I was excited to see that Miles had his own story, but then they also brought in all the other Spider characters, but it still felt like it was a Miles story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Got a plan, Arthur.
Sorry, I had to spit my chew out.
I'm out of water.
Me too. I've been out. No, I thought I had a swig left. I thought I had a swig left. Sorry, I broke character. Oh.
So man, you.
I was really confused about how Gwen got into the school, though.
Yeah, that was kind of confusing.
Especially since it wasn't like a public school. It was a really
it was
big,
like you had to take a test,
school, but she wasn't from that universe. And
well, like she came in like a week or something before, right?
Yeah, and she lived in she somehow got an application. So I guess she's just smart, so we're not supposed to question it.
Yeah, I mean, all Spider-Man are smart.
Yeah. That's the thing about Spider-Man. Anyone who's Spider-Man has to be smart. You can't have a stupid Spider-Man. You can't. Now, Batman, Terry McGinnis is kind of stupid at first. He gets a little smarter, but he's no Bruce Wayne.
Terry McGinnis? What are you talking about? Spider-Man. Batman was Spider-Man.
Well, like, I was saying, like, because Bruce Wayne's super smart, and then Terry comes in, and he's not the brightest dude I've ever seen.
But why'd you bring up Batman when we were talking about Spider-Man?
Because Batman's smart like Peter is.
But what?
Alright, so, any recommendations this week, Austin?
Probably to read about something that you're passionate about. Because it's always good to inform yourself about things you're passionate about.
When you said to read, I thought it said treat, and I thought you were going to say some bull crap like treat others with kindness, which you should do. I was about to say, that's a crappy recommendation, Austin. My recommendation is to go ahead and read.
I was gonna throw up, but we're good now.
Recommendation, what have I been playing? What's a game? Play Fallout New Vegas if you haven't.
I already recommended that.
No, you didn't. Did you?
I've recommended it before.
Well, what are we going to do when we're, like, on the 300th episode of this?
I guess we'll just recommend, like...
Are we going to remember?
Scooby-Doo.
If you're in high school and you want to go do something with your dad, go ahead and do it, because you never know when you're going to not be able to do stuff like that again. Okay? Just go have fun with your dad. Or mom, or whoever.
I don't have a dad.
Yes, you do. All right.
And if you don't have a dad, do something with your dog. Or if you don't have a dog, you suck.
Or your mom, or if you don't have a mom, take it with your parent or guardian. Or if
you have none of those things, you should probably just
go find someone.
You know what? You could just give up.
That's not advice. Please find someone to talk to.
Yeah. No.
All right. Wait, no, I wasn't done.
Okay. What are you...
I think I am done. This has been the Nerd Nerds Podcast. This is episode 11, and we'll make sure to see you guys in the next guy.
This has been Camel X with JRPG Junkie. Make sure to like and subscribe.